A former Arizona corrections officer is looking to use the power of books to spark change inside state and federal prisons. The goal is to use book clubs to help guide inmates into making better choices and leading more productive lives. Joining us now is the woman behind this project, Christine Calabrese, founder of the Embossed Book Club. Welcome to Arizona Horizon. Good to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the Embossed Book Club. First of all, why that name?
Embossed. When you emboss something, you put a stamp on it and it stands out. It's a raised status, and that's how I wanted my inmates to look at it.
So talk to us about how you got started with this idea of inmates belonging to a book club and what just assigned reading. How did that go?
So I've always been a book lover. I was a literature major, and books have really impacted my life, specific authors, and I just thought one day, what would happen to these men and women if they were exposed to the same books that I had the opportunity to be exposed to?
And you started with Viktor Frankl's book? You started with that book?
Yes.
Talk to us. I mean, goodness gracious, man, Search for Meaning. That's pretty heavy stuff for behind bars.
And it was a big decision too, like what's your first book going to be? So it had to be something impactful, it had to be something relevant, it had to be the one. And I chose this book because Viktor Frankl, as you may know, survived 4 different concentration camps. So it's really a story about resilience and finding your purpose. And when you find that purpose, it pulls you through adversity.
What kind of reaction did you get from your book club members?
It was phenomenal.
Interesting.
It was phenomenal. The men were approaching me on the yard, anxious to talk about it.
And what did they say about it?
It really resonated with them, the whole comparison between being incarcerated and being in a concentration camp. And it was really interesting to hear them talk about how those people in the concentration camp were there suffering, but not by their own doing, where my men were admitting, we're here because of what we did.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
When you started this book club, did you get pushback from officials? Did you get pushback from peers? Did people say, what are you doing here?
It was lukewarm. It was lukewarm at first, but thank God for my Deputy Warden Aguirre. He told me, he said, anything that's going to make this yard better, do it.
And you made the yard better. Not only that, but you got a whole bunch of folks interested in books. The book club exploded, huh?
We grew from 1 to 3, and the demand, I couldn't keep up with it.
3 groups of what? How many? How many were in each group?
On average, about 7.
Okay. Met several times a week?
1 time a week.
1 time a week. Okay. How did you figure out which books would work? Obviously, Viktor Frankl, that's got meaning. You were searching for meaning. You found it right there with that book. But what other books did you choose, and why?
Oh, we chose 12 books. I chose 12 books because it was going to be a 12-month program. That was the objective, to read 1 book a month for 12 months. So I just wanted to hit on all the major topics, like purpose, like, emotional intelligence, just down the line.
I noticed that The Alchemist is in here as one of the books, huh?
Yes.
Why'd you pick that one?
That has a spiritual twist to it, and this book is absolutely magical. And I have to say, this is the favorite.
It's the favorite of the
Absolutely.
book club members. Did they ever come to you and say, I think we should do X, Y, or Z?
Yes, and that's why the 12th book is Inmate's Choice.
Is it really?
It is.
Very cool. This went so well that you wound up, resigning your job and starting the book club outside the bars?
I did. I met with our director, and I told him, I said, I believe this should be a program throughout the state. And they weren't sure how to get the books. So I said, I'll start a nonprofit, I'll get the books. And he said, well, you can't run a nonprofit for the state and work for the state at the same time. I said, I'll quit my job.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 4 months ago.
Wow, how's it going?
It's slowly picking up steam.
All right, so again, it's the Embossed Book Club, and the idea is to get this into state and federal prisons around the country.
Yes.
and it's picking up a little bit of steam.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Word's getting out. People are supporting. People are talking about it. Donations are coming in.
Well, congratulations on this. It just seems like it's a real, not only is it a great thing, but to get the buy-in from the inmates, from the book club members, to get that buy-in is huge, and it sounds like it's working for you. Thank you so much for joining and sharing the story. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet.